Salakia. I got a phone call, but it's all good. Um,
This is the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 1. But now they that are younger than me, it's like that I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdain
the stain, yep. Being
to,
kept away.
to have set with the dogs of my flock.
I mean, and these men are so foul, low, and vile and beastly that Job said he won't even let them sit with his dogs, man, because he's worse than a dog. And all the times, we call him a dog, but this man's worse than that. All right.
Fine. It says, whereunto, it says, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. It says, for want and it says, which, when it goes into old age, that's talking about wisdom, because wisdom don't dwell, like the scriptures say, wisdom don't dwell in the malicious soul. Well, who's the most malicious of all? Esau, Edom. Starting with Amalek, It says, for want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste. And it say fleeing.
Driven them. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you about to say, driven away, because the Lord always had it to where, Esau had his kingdom established, and then when the Lord stopped giving Esau power to control the world, and Esau's kingdom slowly, kind of fade away. When it got to that point of, his end of his kingdom, the Lord will have Jake or other nations come through and ransack or do whatever they want the hell to do, and in some cases capture kings, and it says for want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots.
All right, that was what they was eating, man. They was so low minded. All right, now ain't nothing wrong with like a whole bunch of healthy, known vegetables and all that, but these men was this was what they this was their diet, man. This what they was eating, juniper roots and mallows. I seen a picture of it. It kind of looked like marshmallows, kind of.
It says they were driven forth from among men.
Right, man. They was like, get the fuck out of here, you thief, you this, you whatever, man.
Yeah,
These men was just out here doing whatever. Like, that's why Job even said, man, they couldn't even be around a dog, because that's how fucked up he is, for real, man. The scriptures say he's a profane, all right?
What you can tell, because what does Esau still do today? He into bestiality. His women be into bestiality.
Right.
Matter of fact, shit, I mean...
He's estranged from the womb.
Estranged from the womb.
All right.
But, it says, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief.
Right, man. Somebody ever try to steal your shit and you called them, they took off running?
Yeah,
you calling them everything you could, throwing rocks at them, throwing your shoe at them, even shit trying to catch up to them.
Yeah. It says, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks, among the bushes they brave.
Right, and because the brother was this man M.O. as a caveman, all right? He was driven up into the rocks, all right? Georgia, Russia is the Caucasus Mountains, That's if you ever look at Mount Seir, all right, Basra, Petra, all that. That's his homeland, all right, in the mountains, in the cliffs of the rocks, all right. If you look at the pictures, I'm gonna tell you, it didn't look like they how it look now. They went through with them new tools and cleaned it up, made all them angles look sharper. But all right, but go ahead.
It says to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, and caves of the earth.
Right, man. That's a fucking cave, man. All
Because I
right.
still want to get that Revelation chapter 20.
I don't know. Kind. Right, man. That's a fucking caveman, right?
Yeah.
And they said they
Bro,
cried
that's
him
a
as a
spirit, bro.
thief. Right. So,
Con.
they cried him after as a thief, but now when he fully got his blessing, he was able to be an ultimate thief and a bully, and take what he wanted, man. This is Micah 2:2. It says, "And they covet fields, man." And that the field, the scriptures say, in Deuteronomy 28 and I believe 16, when I go into the curses, man, the city and cursed shalt thou be in the city. The city is basically Babylon, all right. And it says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the field," and the field is the earth. All right, but just backing that up, it says, "And they covet fields." All right, every land this man put in his what's another word for embassy? When they set up things all through other people's nations,
Establishment.
something like that. But yeah, man, they just setting up shop. They even when
You
they
talking
came
about
over,
the scriptures call. You talking about like the military bases and stuff?
yeah, they're setting up their bases
The
everywhere.
scriptures call it nest.
Right, yeah, they setting up their nests everywhere, man. Marking stuff theirs. All right, when they came over here, they slaughtered Gad for land. All right, when even in Africa, you might shit. Ain't nobody. He's running the whole world, man.
Yeah, because the scriptures say they set their nests in the midst of the stars, from paraphrasing.
Con.
Which, when you go into that precept, is actually talking about, it's twofold. It's talking about how Esau got his, even in the heaven, even in the Shemayim, like, in the midst of the Shemayim, you got, satellites and stuff. That's part of his nest. But also it's talking about how
Says have reached the heavens.
Khan, Yapa. Yep. Yeah. The scriptures say he is filled with the bones of his bones of his youth. I forget what the precept say.
Let me finish this out. It says, verse 2, it says, "And take them by violence," all right, man, the hammer of the earth, all right. It says, "And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house. And if you ain't going with this man saying, he going to oppress you or kill you, all right. Even a man and his heritage." What's the scripture say? A thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and rob, basically. All right, that's him, all right, down to a T. All right, also going to him in the parable of him being the grape gatherer. This man is take all the fucking grapes, man. All right. You got a precept, or I got some. Did you get that one?
Oh no, that's pretty much. I mean, it's
I'm
some
talking
more
about the Revelation.
Yeah, I might as well get the Revelations real quick, because once again, going back to that point, they call this devil Caucasians for a reason. And he's still called that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20, and verse I'm gonna start at 2. "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years."
Right.
Which you had a period where, Esau was taken out of his rulership.
That was under Jake.
Yeah, they was living under the Jake rulership. That's why you had
Byzantine.
Yeah, Byzantine Empire. That's why Jake be worshiping the Moors and stuff like that. But it was really it was a lot of niggas. But it says and he laid hold on that dragon. Oh, and that's another point. That's why Esau called it the Dark Ages. Because it was a point in time where Jake was ruling. And he was like getting chased around and getting put into captivity, or in subjection. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is called the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season. Right. So and after he was loose that little season, what did he do? Same thing that he did before he was in the bottomless pit, which is go out and deceive the nations. Now everybody is black and white and African American and Hispanic. Now we deceived again, because for first and foremost, we not calling on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Majority of people ain't majority of Jake ain't calling on the name of they Lord, which they don't know. they still calling themselves bywords.
All right.
You
The
know.
man was through that veil
Yep.
over the faces. All right.
God.
Through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, we was able to pull
Pull
that
it down.
stronghold off, man. That
Yeah,
veil was
God.
a stronghold.
Yeah.
All right.
Cause right, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, he not able to deceive us, because now we know that, this, who this devil is. He being exposed. He being identified, But
This is Obadiah 1:3. It says, "The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." All right. 'Cause, this man is so high-minded, so proud, man. The scriptures talk about he is what they call him, most proud, man. The Lord ain't even with pride, period. All right. But his proudness blinded his own damn mind all the way from the beginning. All right. It was just in him. It was the wicked seed. All right. But it says, "Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high," which is the mountains. All right.
what's that?
Obadiah 1:3. It says, "That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" All right. That's what this man says. Through various scriptures. Scriptures go into they think that their houses shall continue together. I mean, shall continue
forever.
Yeah, continue forever. All right, and it was one I just had my mind and it slipped, but Lord willing to come back. But verse 4 says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle," all right. And if you look at all the ancient symbols, emblems, this man used the eagle, all the way into now. That's another indicator of who this man is, or what tribe is running the earth. All right. It says, "Whose habitation is high, that saith in thy heart, that's the body of Bashem. The other scripture that popped in my mind was who she said the scripture said who sit as a widow. All right. That goes into the same thing. Like who they think that they gonna be around here forever. All right. It says, "Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself, Salaki. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring you down." They got that Space Force, which is bullshit. It says, "Thence will I bring you down, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai." All right. And it's just other scriptures. You got a precept? Or...
I got one, but you can keep going.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, because, the brother mentioned, "Thence will I bring thee down." This is an example of how the Lord is going to bring this devil down. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 22. "Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle." It says, and spread his wings over Basra, which right here, because, the reason that Esau used the what's the word I'm looking for? The symbolism of an eagle is because it's the type of animal it is. It got hindsight. It can see over its prey. Well, the Lord is going to use the same, symbolism of an animal right here in this precept. For judgment though. It says on Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 22. It says, "Behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle." And hey, what the precept has said? It says, though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down." So the Lord gonna bring you down like a better eagle. It says, "Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra," which when you get this word Basra, real quick. The word Basra.
Age 1224. Botsra.
Yeah, it says a town in Edom. It says his spread his wings over Basra, And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains.
A
You know?
beach.
Kind, you know. So hey, you know, coming to a time where you know you're gonna get the well received judgment that he's been deserving all the way up from the time of, you know, Cain, all the way up from the time of the serpent. You know. So.
Hold on, I got one.
Kinda.
Isaiah 34:16. This is Isaiah 34. Oh no, so like not 16. 6. I'm tripping. Isaiah 34:6. It says, "The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys and rams." All right, because the priests, which is the prophets and the other apostles and the prophets on down, you know, is setting up an altar. You know, you go into Revelations, I believe the 11th chapter or maybe the 6th chapter. I might be confused. You know, when they go into the altar, you know, that's really talking about the priests. All right, but it says the sword. What you was about to say?
It's like I was gonna say, right? Because in the ancient times, the main priest that would be before the altar was the Levites.
Right, but now we are priests, so
right. So another altar.
God, you know. But anyway, it says the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is